Bradley Beal trade rumors are everywhere. Everyone wants to break up Washington except the Wizards. If this team did trade their star, they would set themselves up for years to come. Instead, they want to run it back with an injury-prone John Wall. Why? Because they know the truth. Getting players like these two is almost impossible. This video explains a crucial offseason and why the Wizards are right. Hey, it's Casey. Welcome to AM Hoops. Spoiler alert, this may be my favorite offseason video, so this is a good one even if you are not a Wizards fan. Another spoiler alert, it's going to be really hard to hit 100,000 subscribers, but I think we can do it. Please share this video if you like it as much as I do. So, 100,000 subscribers, all we need you to do is click the little subscribe button. In return, you're going to get 5 videos per week, always dropping at 9 a.m. Eastern. Wizards basics, cap space, $0. Normal exceptions we usually talk about, 23 teams have them. Draft, 9th overall. Needs, defense for sure. Point guard of the future, and definitely a big man. Relevant free agents, really it's just Davis Bertans. All right, let's jump right into the Bradley Beal trade rumors. I do not think they should trade Beal, but people who do make a really good case. First off, why run it back with John Wall off an injury and a super competitive East? They've never made the conference finals together in 4 postseasons. Also, this trade could set the Wizards up for the future. Beal is 27 years old, scored over 30 points a game last year. His stock won't get higher, just cash him in. And stubbornly, they won't trade Bradley Beal. I actually think they're right, and I'll explain why in a bit. But first, what trades actually would make them change their mind? First, Andre Iguodala, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and the 20th pick for Beal. I suggested this in the Heat offseason video, and I got loads of comments saying the Heat will never trade Tyler Hero. Here's why they're wrong. Barry Jackson, the most plugged-in Heat reporter, recently said, quote, any offer would need to include Hero, likely Duncan Robinson, and other assets. Another Heat reporter said, quote, very good fit for the Heat, and yes, even if it would possibly mean putting Hero in play. Heat are in a seize the moment. And this is a guy who has Heat sources. He knows how they think. He says Hero could be in play. The Heat are in a win now mode. The Wizards aren't really. This trade could work. Next, the Warriors trade Andrew Wiggins, the number 2 overall pick, and Minnesota's top 3 protected in 2021, plus their second rounder. This was suggested by ESPN, so again, credible sources. The Wizards would have to believe in this draft. They'd also need a trade request from Beal, but I think this deal could work. Washington would have young talent with Troy Brown, Rui Hachimura, plus the number 2 and number 9 picks. But the Wizards say no to those trades, and even more because John Wall looks great. And don't believe me, believe their actions. Like, they're not trading Bradley Beal. If John Wall was damaged goods, they would let Beal go and cash him in for their future. They're giving up a lot to keep him. Instead of getting a haul back, they believe in Bradley Beal and a healthy John Wall again. The bet is just too big to doubt. Coach Scott Brooks said Wall is good, if not better than he was before. The Wizards hope that means a Miami Heat situation. 2 all-star level players with young talent making a deep playoff run. The videos we've seen have people excited about John Wall. He is dunking and passing like his old self with a better shot, playing against Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden. Seeing that in games will be the real test, but the Wizards are gambling that Wall is healthy, and I believe them. Next up is the draft, and the Wizards should get James Wiseman. Yes, they should trade up from number 9 and get the big man they need. If the Wizards are going to be this year's Miami Heat, they must trade up. Miami was Jimmy Butler and Bam, 2 All-Stars, plus great young players in Hero, Duncan Robinson, and Kendrick Nunn. The Wizards could be that with John Wall, Bradley Beal, Rui Hachimura, Troy Brown, and James Wiseman. The question is, what will it take to trade up? A top 3 pick will take their number 9 plus Davis Bertans on a sign and trade for $17 million. This is a better deal than the Timberwolves can get anywhere else. ESPN reported that Minnesota will not get an established star for that number 1 overall pick. So getting one of the best 3-point shooters and to stay in the top 10 of the draft is great. Bertans does this on a sign and trade to get more money. Since Wiseman isn't likely to go number 1 overall, there's also a case for this trade to work with the Golden State Warriors. There are rumors out there that the Warriors might want to use the number 2 pick to trade for Kelly Oubre Jr. Why not Davis Bertans? If there's one thing that fits on the Warriors, it is a big man that can shoot. In this sign and trade scenario, Bertans is at $17 million a year that perfectly fits into the Andre Iguodala trade exception. Whether it is the Warriors or the Timberwolves, I think the Wizards need to trade into the 1 or 2 spot because there is a chance Wiseman goes to Charlotte at 3. People will say that's not enough to trade for a top pick, and that's fine. Add a little more. Structure the trade however. My point is the Wizards need to pick a lane. Either trade Bradley Beal and set yourself up for the future, or keep him and make an aggressive move to make the finals. But staying in the middle is the worst thing they can do. James Wiseman has the reach, the timing, and the quickness the Wizards need in a rim protector. He's also skilled offensively in the post. He would work well in the pick and roll with Wall and Beal. Dude even has range as a 3-point shooter. There's no doubt that front court is DC's biggest area of need, and it is rare when a guy like this is gettable. The Wizards told Bradley Beal they would build around him so he wouldn't leave. They need to back up that promise and trade up for a franchise center. The next thing here is to tackle free agency, and whether they trade Bertans or move up in the draft, they need 2 things, shooting and defense. The number 1 free agent target, Jay Crowder. He will have several suitors, but if they give Crowder the full mid-level exception in a bigger role, he could sign. Crowder shot about league average from 3 after the trade from Memphis to the Heat, including the playoffs. He's an above-average defender, especially in help defense. Next, Avery Bradley. He is a good guard option off the bench in addition to Ish Smith and Shabazz Napier. Bradley is the best defensive guard on the market, and he could close games to get a stop. He's an excellent perimeter defender, picks off passes, and is always consistent. Bradley also is a shooter, but most importantly, he is gettable. Right now, he makes about $5 million with that player option, but he could turn it down for a raise in Washington. The last free agent target, though, should be Hassan Whiteside. And I know a lot of you aren't excited about signing Hassan Whiteside, but he is the best option at center if the draft doesn't pan out. I think Whiteside's defensive numbers are fluff, he is inconsistent, but every other free agent center is awful defensively. At least Whiteside has some positive impact. I would not sign him for a long-term deal, but the Wizards' frontcourt defense was so bad, they need a desperate move like this. I am more optimistic about John Wall's health than most people, but why not? If he didn't look great, the Wizards would trade Bradley Beal. Instead, they're keeping him, and I think they should take an all-in approach. Support AM Hoops and click subscribe. Don't miss a daily NBA video.